3, 4, 5. Pancha, inhale. Shat, exhale, touch again. Sapta, head up. Take your hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ashtau, Nama, left leg.
Dear Eddie, hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Anna.
We're now in America, in New York City, and my first question is it popular Ashtanga in New York?
Yes, it is popular.
It became more popular now, or because you are the big person in Ashtanga, you create your Ashtanga Shala. It's the biggest school here, as I know. So maybe many years ago, it's not so popular than now.
Yeah, I opened my first school in New York in 1993. So that was 26 years ago, I think. And 26 years ago. And then I was in one location for a while. Then I had a school on Broome Street in Broadway, Broome Street in Crosby. I was there 20 years. And sometimes we were seeing 150, 170 people every morning. So from 6 a.m. until 1 in the afternoon, we would see that many people coming, going. And then it began to plateau a little, and then maybe we saw 120, 130 people every day, and we've continued about that pace since then. The most popular forms of yoga in New York are hot yoga and vinyasa yoga. So those are more popular because they're easier to access. You don't have to go every day. You go whenever you want. You don't have to do the poses right. Anything is okay. And so those are a little bit more popular. But when people want to get more serious about practice, then sometimes they come to something like Ashtanga yoga. Vinyasa yoga I don't think is quite as serious. Hot yoga is a little bit more serious than Vinyasa yoga because they have very particular pattern they follow, similar to Ashtanga yoga.
You know, when I post some photos and texts about yoga, many people send me message, why you speak a lot about yoga, why you do it, I'm happy without yoga, they say. How can you explain this magic that yoga brings to people?
Well, I think if you're happy without yoga, then good, you're happy, be happy. But some people feel pulled to do something like yoga. And when you feel a pull, then you listen to that pull, you listen to the calling, and then you come do it. For people who are not interested in yoga, it won't make them happy. For people who are interested in yoga, it will make them happy. I'm not interested in surfing. If I went surfing, it wouldn't be very much interesting to me. Some people love surfing so much, it's all they talk about. But for me, it doesn't have any pull. So whatever you have a pull, whatever is calling you, listen to that calling, and then that thing will make you happy. But somebody else's happiness won't be your happiness. I never try to convince anybody to do yoga. I have from my friends and family, I have 10 brothers and sisters. None of them do yoga.
Really?
Yeah, they're not interested. They've tried a few times, but then only one sister does yoga, Kara. The rest don't do.
So, you know, many teachers say that not asana is not so important, so you should practice like meditate. So asanas is not like so important. I mean, how can you? What do you think about it? And but without asanas, we cannot. So it's not a yoga without asanas. So shall we just sit and meditate and sing mantras? So how we use our body? So we use our body for I don't know, for another energy, for another clear mind. I mean, through the body.
Yeah, asanas are very important. If you're going to sit and chant mantras, what are you doing? Are you sitting like this?
No, I don't know.
If you sit and you meditate,
yes.
Are you going to sit like this?
Yes.
Well, this is called an asana. Right now you're sitting in an asana.
Oh.
So even to sit and meditate, you have to sit in an asana. Even to sit and chant or do japa, do your mala, you have to sit in an asana, which is one steady seat. Okay, the definition of asana means as is a verbal root which means to sit. As means to sit. Ana means breath. So asana, sit, breath. So in an asana you sit and breathe, or you sit with your breath. To sit with your breath means you stay in the present moment. So asanas are very important because they keep you in the present moment. So why are there so many of them? Well, what does your mind do? Your mind likes to wander here and there. The mind never stays in one place. So every time you come into a new asana, you're reminding your mind to be present, to stay steady, and to breathe where you are. And then you move into another position. And then in that other position, you stay steady and you breathe exactly where you are. So you're changing positions, one after the other changing. So why do you have to change positions? You change positions because every time you change, you're keeping your mind focused. Out in the world, in real life, does everything stay the same? No. Everything changes. Do people like change? No. Do people get upset when things change? Yes. But the nature of the world is to change. But we have to stay steady and focused and calm and accepting when things are changing. So changing in asanas and doing many asanas and staying focused and present with your breath in each asana means that in life, when things are changing, when things are difficult, you'll also stay focused. That's one level. Another level is all the time we're doing the poses. We're twisting, we're breathing, we're twisting, we're bending, we're strengthening, we're doing all these things. It's not just for the muscles and bones, it's not just for the shape, but it's for our physiological systems. The movement is helping our cardiovascular system, respiratory system, digestive system, nervous system, endocrine system. All of the different systems are being stimulated and strengthened through movement. We are built to move. Our brain is based on movement. Even thinking is movement. Thinking is activity. So every movement we do influences the brain and influences our physiological systems in different types of ways. So, to live is to move, and to move is to live. And the thing which makes us think, our brain, is the same thing which makes us move. So when we move in a proper way, we also stimulate and strengthen that thing which makes us think. So asanas are very important because it does all of this. Video was made, it was 1993. I was 25 years old. I had been practicing with Pattabhi Jois for only 1.5 years. And in that 1.5 years, I learned primary, intermediate, 3rd series, and part of 4th series. Before I met Pattabhi Jois, I was doing a lot of yoga on my own. I was doing Shivananda yoga, Kripalu yoga, I was doing Kundalini yoga. Whatever yogas I could find, I was doing, but a lot of it. So by the time I got to Mysore in 1991, when I was like 23 years old, I was already very flexible. I could do all of the poses. I learned primary series from him in 3 weeks, and I learned intermediate in 3 weeks, and then I learned 3rd series in 6 months. So fairly quick, because my body was very supple. I needed some strength, but I built the strength pretty quickly also, because his method was very good. So there are 2 reasons why I could make that quick progress. Number 1, I was young. Number 2, I was doing a lot of yoga. Sometimes I do 4, 5, 6 hours of practice every day, including asanas, including mantras and meditation, just in my room on my own. I would get books. There was no YouTube. There was no computers. There was no internet back then. Internet did not exist. And so I would find books, and I would just copy what I saw in the books, and that's how I learned.
What can you recommend students to make? I understand that the progress is not so important, but all people want to know. What can you recommend?
The best thing I can recommend for making progress is to dedicate yourself to your practice. Whatever practice you're doing, it doesn't matter what kind, but dedicate yourself to it so you do something every day. And then in that practice, challenge yourself just a little. Don't push yourself beyond your boundary, but give yourself a little bit of challenge. And a little bit of challenge makes your resiliency of your body begin to strengthen and grow. It gives you endurance. It makes your capacity for expanding your capabilities begin to grow. It makes the nervous system strong. And it gives you a sense of encouragement and enthusiasm, because you know, I'm challenging myself. I'm not killing myself. I'm just challenging myself. And that will give you courage and enthusiasm. And it will also make you feel good about what you're doing. And then that will invigorate your feeling of dedication.
You know, when we progress and when we see the new asanas, you feel a little bit, I'm good, our ego goes up. How we can balance it?
Okay, when you notice that you're feeling too proud of yourself, just say, okay, I'm feeling a little bit proud of myself. It's okay to be proud of myself, but not in comparison to anyone else, only in comparison to me. So if we start to compare ourselves to other people and think we're better than other people, then that's not good. Then we'll get an ego problem. But if in comparison to ourselves we feel, that was good, I did my practice today, I pat myself on the back, that's okay. It's good to give yourself encouragement, but don't think that you're better than other people, because then you get very lonely, and then you feel separate from other people.
When we go out after the class of yoga, how we can use this feeling and magic of yoga in our business, in our offices, in our real life?
In the ancient yoga texts and in the philosophical texts of Hinduism, it says that the entire universe is a ritual, and the ritual is being played out on the grand altar of the divine energy. So everything we see in the universe is a ritual. And all rituals, you know, there's like an altar, there's a temple where you have your candle and some gods or pictures of people who inspire you. That's an altar. So the whole universe that we see is the divine manifesting itself. So the whole universe is a ritual being carried out on the altar of divinity. And when we see every action in the world as part of the ritual, then we carry our yoga out into the world. So you should do your yoga like it's a ritual. And what does a ritual mean? In ritual, you're not praying to something outside of yourself. You're making an invocation to making something that's in you already express itself fully. An invocation to the gods in Hinduism are called devas. A deva means a being of light. It doesn't mean a god like a piece of stone. It means the light beings that rule the cosmic balance. And those exist within us too. So when we worship in Hinduism, we are invoking the light within us to shine forth through every activity, through every thought, through every breath. So you do your yoga practice like a ritual. You're invoking the light within you to fully illuminate your mind and your body. And then when you go out into the world, you do your job like a ritual. You treat everybody who you meet like they are a sacred being also. You handle every transaction of money like it's a sacred object. Every time you dress up nicely, you imagine that life is theater, life is a ritual, and you're dressing up for it. So to dress nicely is a sign of respect. Like if you go to theater and everyone dresses nicely, the entire universe is theater. It's one big grand opera. So even the way you present yourself can be a type of ritual which shows respect for the entire creation.
And my last question, how we can live our best life? I mean, what should we do to make our life the best version?
Well, I think we really need to pay attention to what it is that we want from our lives. Like we don't always pay attention to what our purpose is, what our deepest desire is. We don't pay attention to the sense of who am I. So the three important questions are, who am I? What is my purpose? What is my deepest desire? And how can I serve? So if you have those four questions, you ask yourself those a lot. Who am I? What is my purpose? What is my deepest desire? And how can I serve? Meaning, how can I connect with the world? If we ask ourselves those four questions, then we'll start to get answers.
If we
If you can't find your purpose, find very small purposes. Say, my purpose today is to get out of bed and make a cup of coffee or brush my teeth, and then I'll see what happens next. So your purpose doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to rid the world of malaria. Your purpose can just be very small, simple things. Maybe you make a to-do list. Today I have to do my laundry, do some grocery shopping, and do my dishes. And then you think to yourself, today this is my purpose. And you do those things, and then you feel good. And then maybe you start to feel a deeper sense of purpose. Today my purpose is to do the dishes and also to meditate. And then you for 5 minutes. And then you meditate 5 minutes. And you go, I fulfilled my purpose for today. Now I'm free. And then day by day you can change and grow.
And can you recommend some meditation? Because it's many books or many kind of meditation.
Yeah.
Compassion, love for yourself, and
Yep.
for world. What can you recommend, or your experience? Which kind of meditation we should use?
Well, there are many different kinds because there are many different people, and everybody likes to do something different. Generally speaking, meditating on just following the breath is good, or you can use a mantra, like you can inhale so, and you can exhale hum. Inhale so, exhale hum. That means I am that. What is that? Consciousness, presence, being, awareness. That's an easy one also, but best to find a teacher.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Anna.